Welcome back to History Hall of Fame. Today we're diving into the lives of America's founding fathers, but not the stories you learned in school. Instead, we're exploring the untold stories, the myths, and the realities behind these iconic figures. So buckle up, because we're about to separate fact from fiction. When we think of America's founding fathers, we often picture them as larger-than-life figures, heroes without flaws, driven by pure ideals. But the truth is far more complex. Let's start with George Washington, the man often referred to as the father of his country. George Washington, the first president of the United States, is often depicted as a stoic, nearly mythic figure. But did you know that Washington wasn't always eager to lead? In fact, he initially refused the role of president, worried that he lacked the skills for the job. And there's more. One of the most famous images of Washington is the painting of him crossing the Delaware River during the Revolutionary War. But the reality? The crossing was indeed daring, but far more chaotic and difficult than the painting suggests. The troops were exhausted, the weather brutal, and the victory that followed, while important, wasn't the decisive blow to the British many believe it to be. And here's something that might surprise you. Washington wasn't above personal ambition. His desire to secure his legacy played a significant role in his decisions, both during the war and afterward. So while Washington remains a towering figure in American history, his story is more complex than the myths suggest. Next, we turn to Thomas Jefferson, the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. Jefferson is often celebrated as a champion of liberty, but there's a darker side to his story. Jefferson owned over 600 enslaved people during his lifetime, and while he wrote eloquently about freedom and equality, his actions didn't always align with his words. Jefferson struggled with the contradiction of advocating for liberty while benefiting from the institution of slavery. And then there's the story of Sally Hemings, one of Jefferson's enslaved women, with whom he had several children. For years, this relationship was shrouded in secrecy and denial. Today, we recognize this as part of Jefferson's complex and often troubling legacy. Jefferson's story reminds us that even the most celebrated figures in history have deep complexities and contradictions. Finally, let's talk about Benjamin Franklin, scientist, inventor, diplomat, and one of the most colorful characters of the American Revolution. Franklin's experiments with electricity are legendary, but did you know he wasn't always the quirky genius we picture today? Franklin started out as a runaway, escaping an apprenticeship to find his fortune. Over the years, he became a self-made man, but his early life was full of struggles and failures. He was also known for his wit, but that wit sometimes bordered on scandalous. Franklin had a reputation as a bit of a rogue, both in politics and in his personal life. Yet, despite his flaws, Franklin's diplomacy in France was crucial to securing the alliance that would help win the Revolutionary War. He knew how to charm and persuade, and his contributions to American independence cannot be overstated. Benjamin Franklin was a man of contradictions, innovative, witty, and occasionally scandalous, but his influence on American history is undeniable. So, what do we take away from these untold stories? The Founding Fathers were far from perfect, and their lives were filled with contradictions, ambitions, and struggles. But it's these complexities that make them human, and ultimately, make their achievements even more remarkable. If you enjoyed this dive into history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Let us know in the comments which founding father you'd like us to explore next. Thanks for watching History Hall of Fame, where we bring the past to life.